Today is Tuesday, October 8th. This is Noreen Johnson, and here are the good news headlines of the day. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan on Monday expanded his investigation into big tech censorship and collusion with the Biden-Harris administration, demanding that YouTube reveal why it blocked a Catholic group's interview last month with prominent FBI whistleblower Marcus Allen. Jordan sent a stinging letter to Alphabet CEO Sundar Pichai, whose company owns YouTube, asking for all contacts between the tech giant and the federal government concerning Allen. The powerful committee chairman, who has been investigating federally backed censorship during the 2020 election and COVID pandemic and since, asked YouTube to explain why it blocked the video and to divulge communications between YouTube and the Biden-Harris administration relating to this censorship. Allen, a Marine, has been a high-profile whistleblower who has testified before Congress and has successfully forced the FBI to restore his security clearance. Senator J.D. Vance did his best to unravel the media spin surrounding the FEMA and Biden-Harris administration's response to Hurricane Helene. Vance joined Monday morning's broadcast of Fox and Friends and responded to critics who claimed that money FEMA was using to subsidize the resettlement of illegal migrants had come from a different bucket of money than emergency funding for the American citizens still reeling from the devastation wrought by Helene across the southeastern United States. Fox News host Will Cain asked the question, noting that there had been a number of conflicting reports and confusion surrounding FEMA, which reportedly does not have enough funding to last through the remainder of the hurricane season, and whether or not the money designated for resettling illegal immigrants could have been used instead for those impacted by Helene. Vance said this: "I think that misses the fundamental point that the Biden-Harris administration has turned FEMA effectively into an agency that helps to deal with illegal immigration, and that is just going to fundamentally distract focus from their core job of helping American citizens in their time of need." And then this, a FEMA disaster preparedness meeting about focusing efforts on LGBTQIA+ victims has surfaced following the agency's response to Hurricane Helene. In a virtual meeting from March of last year, FEMA emergency management specialist Tyler Atkins alarmingly said the agency was prioritizing LGBTQ people because they are already disadvantaged. It comes as FEMA has faced mounting backlash in the weeks since Hurricane Helene tore through the southeast and killed at least 227 people amid allegations the agency ran out of money after spending billions on illegal immigrants. In the clip, which has racked up over 15 million views since it was shared on X on Sunday, Atkins argued that LGBTQ victims should receive more support because they would have been already struggling before a natural disaster. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas admitted last week that the agency does not have the funds to make it through the season, despite the billions spent on housing illegal immigrants. And while much of northern Florida up to North Carolina has been left devastated, FEMA will also be stretched as Hurricane Milton makes landfall this week. As the U.S. election gets ever closer in time, there are increasing signs that Kamala Harris's treatment of U.S. Catholics could come back to haunt her when the nation goes to the polls on November 5th. The current U.S. Vice President is facing the wrath of Catholic voters after years of public hostility towards them, according to the New York Post. At the same time, her opponent, former President Donald Trump, has been openly courting the Catholic vote and warning that the Democratic Party is openly anti-Catholic. Ryan Girdusky, a GOP strategist and Catholic, is quoted by the Post saying Kamala's polling is worse than Joe Biden among a very important demographic. A U.S.-based Herald columnist has described the Biden-Harris administration as the most aggressive anti-Catholic administration ever known and has targeted traditional Catholics, according to a report from the House Judiciary Committee. They are the largest single church in America. The Catholic vote will help decide the presidency. And then the Supreme Court of Georgia on Monday reinstated the state's Life Act, which protects unborn babies when they develop a heartbeat at around 6 weeks into the pregnancy. The court granted the state's request that the pro-life protections be kept in place while an appeal is heard on a Fulton County judge's decision to strike down the law as arbitrary. 6 judges on the court agreed with the state, while one offered a partial concurrence, and the remaining 2 did not participate. The court's ruling was praised by pro-life advocates but decreed by pro-abortion groups. The law will be reinstated at 5 o'clock on Monday. And then today, October 8th, we celebrate the feast day of St Leonard of Noblac. St Leonard is the patron saint of prisoners, captives, women in labor, and many other groups. He is also associated with the abbey and town of St Leonard de Noblat in France. He is known for miracles that he performed, including releasing prisoners, helping women in labor, and curing cattle diseases. Leonardi was beatified in 1861 and canonized in 1938 by Pope Pius XI. St. Leonard, pray for us. And those are your daily good news headlines. This is Catholics for Catholics. May God bless you, and may God bless the USA.